Hey there, we're going to look at this bar modeling problem from the 4th grade textbook. And the first thing that we do when we start a bar modeling problem is we read the problem. So let's do it. Emma, Alex, and Sophia collected 3,045 pieces of trash. Alex collected 230 more pieces than Emma and 110 fewer than Sophia. How many pieces did Alex collect? So the next thing that we do is we go ahead and identify exactly what we're looking for. And in this instance, we're looking for how many pieces of trash Alex collected. So we write an answer sentence for that. I'll say Alex collected pieces of trash. All right, we're going to put that down on the bottom. And here we go. The next thing that we do is we go back and we reread the problem and we stop when we can draw something. So for instance, we go back to the top part and it says Emma, Alex, and Sophia collected 3,045 pieces of trash. We know that there are 3 people collecting bits of trash. That's important enough that we can go ahead and draw. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and label 3 different bars, one for Emma, one for Alex, and one for Sophia. I don't know the quantity of those bars yet, but I don't have to at this current second. I am going to go ahead and draw bars that are relatively the same size for now, because I don't know without moving on through the problem how much each one individually has collected. I do know that together though, they collected 3,045 pieces. The next thing that I can do is I can read the next part of the problem. Alex collected 230 more pieces than Emma. And I can go ahead and stop there because I can draw that, or at least adjust a bar that I've already drawn. For instance, I can see right now Emma and Alex currently have the same number of pieces of trash according to the size of our bars because they're both representing the same amount. But we know from that sentence that we just read that Alex's bar should be longer or Emma's bar should be shorter. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to adjust Emma's bar here. Okay, so I'm going to erase part of Emma's bar and adjust it. So this is the quantity that she definitely collected, and this is the quantity that's not actually there, hence why it is drawn with a dotted line. That is the amount that is the difference between Emma's bar and Alex's bar, and we know already that that's 230. Oh, I gotta move him up. Oh man, sorry about that. 230. The next part of the problem goes on and we can actually draw more here. Okay. Alex collected 230 more pieces than Emma, which we adjusted Emma's bar to show that. We didn't adjust Alex's because we're going to continue comparing to it. And 110 fewer than Sophia. So we know that Alex's bar is going to be shorter than Sophia's. We know that because it said that he collected less than Sophia did. So instead of adjusting Alex's bar, I'm actually going to add on to Sophia's bar that 110. Doing it in a solid color, or a solid line, excuse me, so that I know exactly what that quantity is, and I know for sure that it is actually something that's a part of my problem, not a difference, like Emma's 230. So the next part of our problem, how many pieces did Alex collect? So the interesting thing here is we really can't figure this out without figuring out how much every single one of the children was able to collect, or these people were able to collect. So I'd like you to realize here that if, for instance, all three units, Alex's unit, Emma's unit, and Sophia's unit, were the same size, then we could actually divide the total, that 3,045, by 3, the number of people collecting trash. We're actually going to make them the same size to see exactly how much Alex and Emma and Sophia collected. And I know this problem is only asking for how much Alex collected, but if we solve the rest of it, it'll help us with other problems as well. So in order to solve this, I need to make sure that Emma's bar goes all the way over to my dotted line to make sure that it is the same exact amount, and that Sophia's bar is small enough to reach just that threshold of that dotted line, or that amount that makes all three of those units equal. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my total, which we know according to the bracket is 3,045. So I'm going to write that down here. And I'm going to add on that 230. I'm adding on that 230, which is the difference between Emma's bar and Alex's bar, so that I can get Emma's bar up to the same amount as Alex's. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract that 110 on Sophia's bar to bring her total back down to that threshold. So 3,275. I'm going to rewrite that. Oops, 3,275. And I'm going to subtract that 110. Alright, so this is our new total. Our total of having all three of those bars be exactly at that threshold, or that dotted yellow line. And in order to figure out how much that unit is, that same amount that they all should have collected after our adjustments, I need to divide by 3. I'm dividing by 3 because I'm dividing by Emma, Alex, and Sophia. And if I take 3,165 and I divide by 3, the answer ends up being 1,055. So I know already that Alex's bar goes exactly up to my threshold, which means he has exactly 1,055 pieces of trash that he's collected. If we were going to go back and actually plug in the amount that every single one of these children was collecting or did collect, we can take that 1,055 and we can adjust it according to what the problem said. So instead of actually collecting that 1,055, Emma ended up getting 230 less than that. So if we subtract that 230, we have 825. That's exactly what Emma really did collect. And if we were going to see what Sophia collected, we know that this here, the first part of her bar, is 1055. We would add that additional piece. We would add in that 110 because she collected 110 more than Alex. And Alex has the unit rate here. And together, her two pieces are 1,165. And that is the whole bar model filled out for us so we can figure out exactly what our bar model was asking for in the first place, which was how much did Alex collect? And we know that he collected 1,055 pieces of trash.